Welcome to the English Desk. This channel takes English apart and puts it back together in a way that makes sense. Short lessons, clear examples. Let's get into it.
So, even if you are a really strong writer, someone who feels confident with language, there's always that one little tripwire, isn't there?
hmm
That one moment your fingers just hover over the keys and you think, wait a minute, is it AFFECT or EFFECT?
It's probably the most common one.
It has to be. And today, we're going to put that hesitation to rest for good. We've gone through the sources to pull out the key distinctions and, more importantly, a quick toolkit you can use to get it right every single time. Our whole mission here is to turn that little annoyance into, well, instant confidence.
Yeah, and it's all about function, really, not about the sound. Once you see the job each word is doing, the confusion just kind of vanishes. We're going to break down the mechanics to give you that shortcut.
Okay, let's jump right in then. For someone listening who just wants that one anchor rule, what is the absolute non-negotiable difference between affect and effect?
Okay, so in about 95% of all cases, they have totally separate jobs. It's this simple. Effect is the action. Effect is the result.
Action versus result.
I like that.
Yeah,
So affect with an A is the verb. It's the doing word.
exactly.
It's what something does to something else, like the weather affects my mood. The weather is doing the action.
It's the influence in motion. And on the flip side, when you need the noun, the thing, the outcome, you grab effect with an E,
The consequence.
a consequence. So using that same example, you'd say, the weather had a strong effect on my mood. The effect is the result that the weather produced.
So action, effect, result, effect.
That's the foundation. If you just remember that, you're most of the way there.
It seems so clean when you put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we both know that even really sharp writers get this wrong all the time. Why is this specific pair so sticky?
Well, it's actually a fascinating story. The confusion is historical. It goes way back.
Oh.
Yeah, the sources trace them to two different Latin verbs, afficer and efficer. They both had this general idea of making or doing, but with slightly different flavors.
So they were always close. They were always cousins. And when they moved into English, they started to sound more and more alike. I mean, when we talk, just say them out loud. Effect. Effect.
Yeah.
They're almost homophones.
Right. Your brain just hears influence and lumps them together.
Exactly. And that's fine in a conversation. If you tell me, the budget affected the project, I get it. If you say the budget had an effect on the project, I also get it. Context smooths it over.
But the second you put it in writing,
That's when it matters.
in an email, a report, suddenly that one wrong letter, that A instead of an E, it just jumps off the page and looks clumsy. It kind of undermines the whole piece.
It does. It signals a hesitation.
Yeah.
Writing demands that functional precision in a way that speech just doesn't.
Okay, so we have to talk about the curveball now. Because anyone who's looked this up knows there's a big asterisk next to that rule we just laid out.
Yes.
We have to talk about effect as a verb.
We absolutely do. This is where we move from the basics to real mastery. So, yes, effect can be a V, but it means something completely different from affect.
It's not about influencing.
Not at all. When effect is a verb, it means to bring something into being, to execute it, to make it happen. It's a much stronger, more proactive word.
Okay, give me an example. So if I say, the new policy affected the employees, that means it influenced them.
Right. They felt the influence of it. But if you say the new CEO wants to affect change,
Ah, she wants to create the change, to bring it about.
precisely, she is actively working to make that change a reality. It's the difference between influencing something that already exists and creating a new outcome entirely.
And it feels much more formal, doesn't it? You wouldn't say that in a casual conversation.
You really wouldn't. It's almost always reserved for these high-stakes contexts,
Yeah.
Legal language, policy, formal announcements.
Like, the board voted to affect the new strategy.
Perfect example. They aren't just influencing the strategy, they are executing it, putting it into action. Compare that to the vote affected morale. See the difference?
Yeah, one is creation, the other is influence. So actually, that formality is a pretty good clue. If you're not writing a legal document or a policy memo, you probably don't need effect as a verb.
That's a great way to think about it. The context almost flags it for you. It doesn't really mess with our main action versus result rule in everyday writing.
Okay, so if the confusion is historical and the big exception is pretty niche, then the solution has to be something really practical, a tool you can use in the moment.
A quick check.
Let's get into that, the Quick Check Toolkit. This is for when you're writing fast and you just need to be sure.
Right, and it's a simple substitution test. It's designed to save you time by forcing you to check the sentence's real purpose.
Okay, so let's start with the verb. If you think you need an action word.
You just try replacing the word with influence. If the sentence still works, you need affect with an A.
Let's try it. The caffeine blanked his focus. If I swap in influence, the caffeine influenced his focus.
That sounds perfect. So, instantly it has to be the caffeine affected his focus. The A word for the action.
I love that because it completely bypasses the sound of the word. You're just checking the grammar, the function.
Mm-hmm.
So what about the other side? For the noun, the result.
For the noun, you try swapping in the word result or consequence.
Okay. The blank of the storm was widespread flooding. Let's test it. The result of the storm was widespread flooding.
Works perfectly.
So, with total confidence, it has to be the effect of the storm was widespread flooding.
And that's the whole toolkit. Influence for the action, result for the consequence. It's the fastest way to get it right without overthinking the history or the exceptions.
It's so good because it makes the correct assumption that most of the time you're talking about influence, not creating policy from scratch. You check for that core function, and you've just eliminated 99% of your errors.
Right. So to really make this stick, maybe we can run through a few more quick examples just to see how the pattern holds up.
Yeah, let's do a rapid fire round.
Okay, how about health? The action would be stress affects your immune system.
Because it influences your immune system. And the result, the effect of chronic stress can be serious. The result can be serious.
Exactly. Okay, education. A teacher's method is the action. This teaching style positively affects student engagement.
It influences engagement. And the outcome, the noun, is we saw a positive effect on test scores almost immediately. The result was on the scores.
Perfect. One more. Just everyday life. The loud construction noise affects my ability to concentrate.
It influences your concentration. And the result is, the main effect is that I can't get any work done. The result is no work.
See, the pattern is rock solid. Action is A, result is E.
It really is. Once you see it that way, the function never changes. If you're describing an influence, you need the A word. If you're pointing to the outcome, you need the E word. That's the whole game.
Absolutely. The words are linked. They're always about influence in some way, but their jobs are just. They're rigidly defined.
Well, let's circle back for a final thought on that rare, powerful exception.
Ah, yes. Affect is a verb, to create something.
Yeah, to bring something into being.
If you think about how language shapes our reality, there's something really profound in that specific usage.
How so?
Well, when we say someone affects change, we're doing more than just saying they influence things. We're saying they actively created that new reality. The language gives them that power, that agency.
That's a great point. It's not just a result that happened. It's a result that was achieved.
Exactly. It suggests some outcomes. A new policy, a merger, a profound social shift are so significant, they need a verb that conveys active creation. So the thought I'd leave you with is this. What other words do you use every day that might be hiding a second, more powerful meaning? Words that, when used in a very specific, formal way, don't just describe reality, but imply the power to create it. It's worth looking for those hidden layers.
Thank you for being here. More English made simple in the next video.